make a video of this, but I will have to say the devs lied to you at the beginning with a lot of the content creators who also believed wholeheartedly, and some of them are still falling for the lies. The best way I can put this is they talk about how like abilities are broken or something going on, they need a rework just to reapply them in game. And some of them might have a little bit of a rework to make them seem a little cooler or give like a cosmetic to it that, makes it look like on another frame it's cool, right? Which, by the way, it's not cool because one thing they done is lazily went through and took an item in game example. If I quickly show you guys here and we go over to the gear wheel here, not the emotes, gear wheel. Tell me what this right here is. Okay. If you guys don't know what this is, go do a specific planet and earn it. Okay. It goes into the gear wheel that you can then call down a hoverboard, the thing you ride on to get around the map, right? So let's make it a hoverboard with a old Warframe's ability. Instead of going complete immune to damage, let's just reduce the damage, right? Reworking the ability and then giving it a brand new spiffy look. Meaning, if we quickly go to this, we go right here to some of the people's favorite Warframe, which I call stupid, by the way. If you guys know Rhino's diamond skin, who else has been a really old Warframe player here who's played Warframe forever and heard about the diamond skin to Rhino, as in AKA this dude right here, which I've been misspelling it, but this dude right here. Okay? He used to have an ability called Diamond Skin that now has a rework. He doesn't go full immunal anymore. But anyways, they basically took it, gave it a slight rework, and then said, you know what? On top of that, you get this, which is a waveboard as an ability. Literally an ability. And you can't even, use your weapon from it. You can only cast abilities from it, which uses your energy. And again, if we are on this, we are just basically using transportation. Example again. Okay, if I go back to here. Example again. One of these. What's next? Are we going to have like a Warframe that can summon a Necromech? Are we going to have a Warframe that can summon the Atomocycle? I mean, we already have a Warframe that has a K-Drive launcher for the Arcwing. But that's been around for a while before this got implemented. But anyways, they've done this just for players that need to get around the plains of Eidolon. Okay, so if I have this, why would I need her? And yet, specifically, why do I need this when you get this early on? Before you even get this Warframe or think about it, you're going to have the K-Drive, which goes directly into your gear wheel. But if you notice, I'm using the motorcycle because I'm far enough into the game, the motorcycle's cooler. But you get the motorcycle, and you get Necromech as summons. What's next? Am I going to get a Warframe that summons a fucking Necromech? I hate to put it that way, but it's a good question. Okay, and it's a little bit to put out there for Warframe fans to kind of look at and be like, oh, well, the devs actually are kind of being a little bit lazy at this point. Because they are. Next, we went over the diamond skin. That's basically what this is. When you use the ability to pull this out right here, it's basically diamond skin reworked to take less damage instead of full immune. Instead of being fully immune to damage, you just take a little bit of damage. You take a good chunk of damage reduction, and you get to ride around on a waveboard. Literally diamond skin, slightly reworked. Okay. Let's go a little further, shall we? You guys know this frame here, Uriel. He's the brand new frame that came out 15 days ago, if not 16 or 17. I have to relook at the board when he originally came. But he came out. But as we all know, there is a Warframe, which I don't think I own. I do not own them, but this one, who had a very, very known ability, World of Flames, which she no longer gets. And guess what? Now it's on this one. They made it look cooler, but it's literally World of Flames. You have to build up your abilities to launch it, like you do with Nidus's like growth. We have to use the abilities to gain a bit to use your fourth ability, but literally it is World of Flames. It is a full rework where they took the old one, added one rework to it, and said, let's re-release it. But yet they removed it off of Ember and said it was too broken or it wasn't good enough. And then they bring it with this frame instead of just putting it on Ember where it belongs. And then giving whatever they gave to Ember for the World of Flame, giving it to this dude, where that actual legit rework would have been somewhat of a new ability. They could have called it something else and packaged it as an actual new frame. I don't know about you guys, but to me, they are just getting lazy. What are they going to do next? Go to Necro, strip the like desecrate ability, and then come out the like a Warframe like 10 years from now and give it fucking desecrate with a rework? And then fully change how like Necros will no longer have desecrate? Is that going to be a thing? Like DE, are we just going to be completely fucking lazy? I hate to put it that way, but that's exactly how I feel. On top of like mod cards that make no absolute fucking sense, which is what we just went over with this one. I hate to put it that way. And I'm not here to argue. I'm here just to prove a point. It's kind of pointless. And I hate to open a video this way, but it's fucking pointless. If anything needs a rework, remove the damn waveboard from Yareli, okay? Or however the fuck you're supposed to name her. Like, actually say it, physically pronunciate it, okay? Remove the waveboard. And just leave it the name it is, no waveboard. And make it where we can still use our weapons. And basically, that is the baseline of fucking Rhino. Now, I get like, okay, other frames utilizing or borrowing something from other frames. That's not a problem. Just don't strip things from frames saying it's broken or doesn't work just to prove that it actually does when you bring it on a new Warframe. Realistically, the rework should be on Ember, the World of Flames, should be what Uriel's thing is. And then what you reworked for Ember should be on Uriel. Let's be honest behind that. Secondhand, Uriel is great at base game and good for most content. But there's a new event, which is called Descendia. Most of the enemies you get in there are going to be basically Corpus. They're fucking robots. Fire does nothing to robots. There's no extra damage there. So why would you release a fire frame to robots? I don't know about you, but there's specific damage type that they're weak to. And with it being Descendia and its robots, maybe grinding the new frame should be a frame that absolutely actually would do good in Descendia, because it would be what they're weak to. It's points proven again, guys, with the whole nerf thing from earlier. Let me give you guys a little idea here. He grants fire. His passive. Euro commands and empowers and protects 3 unique demons with their names. Inscribes demonic runes upon fallen foes and adds fire rate and heat damage when collected. Okay? Which is heat. It's fire. Okay? Same as if I go on my gun right now. If I do this, I'm actually using Infected Clip and Prime Cryo Freeze. But if I get in game, next to the ammo counter will be a fire damage. Okay? Well, let me give you guys a little secret. This is the new frame. Here is where you go to use said new frame, which is when you go in, you're basically fighting Grenier, which, by the way, is electricity. Okay? And what is that other one? That's right, impact. If we go in here, this right here is Descendia. Okay? It does not tell you what the most damaged thing in this is, but I'll let you know. There is sections of where there's aliens, but most of your enemies is Corpus and Grenier. Okay? As in human foes and robots. Very occasionally, it's like on the one-off chance you get an alien round throughout this. So why in this, if it's more Corpus-based, are we getting a fire frame? At least make, if this is going to be World of Flames, call it something else, World of whatever, World of Corrosive or whatever is needed, but at least make it, at least make it something like when you're hovering over this that actually says Orokin or Infested or Murmur. You know, like whatever enemy is in there is what this dude should be using. Whatever they are weak to is what this dude should be using. Okay? And you can see I'm using Viral, which is increases damage to health up to 325%. So it's good against people. It's not good with robots. It's not good with anything else. But if I quickly come over and go to Config B, which is magnetic, right here's where your Corpus is. So you can see that right next to my cursor, the 1.5, damage to Corpus Amalgam, and damage to Tekarot. Okay? Those are the 2 main types of enemies you'll see in this, is Tekarot and Corpus. I was thinking Grenier, but it's not. It's Tekarot. You're going to see the Tekarot robotic-like things. You're going to see the Corpus, like the little guys from it, and the robot-like dudes. You're going to see that. And this is what actually absolutely gets them, which is Frost and Lightning, which makes magnetic. Okay? Magnetic is what they're weak to. So World of Magnet more likely would have been better, because at least it would have done magnetic damage, which runs the tower, which, by the way, is what type of enemies in there? Corpus and Tekarot. If you're going to run aliens, okay, what aliens is weak to, okay? Very simple. If we were building for the aliens, here's what I would run. I would run Primal Acuity. Let's actually go ahead and get to the Y cards right quick so I can start throwing those on right quick, which is going to be Serration, going right here. We are going to be using Vital Sense, okay, because I really want to bring this crit. We are going to be using, where is it? Because we got 2 more Y cards to do. radial attacks. I'm not worried about Firestorm because it doesn't have that. What we are going to be using is going to be. Hold on, let's go over to our minuses right quick. We're going to be using Hellfire, okay? Because fire damage, if I go up here and hover over heat, infested, as you can see there, which, by the way, we can also use ice. So at this point, if we went through, we could look for primed cryo rounds, which is right here.
Hi.
Which again does Deimos, which again is also infested, okay? But this is what should be here. Fire and cryo, which is aliens. So, or I should say the infested, okay? But I call them aliens. The tower defense, because that's where you get the new Warframe should be infested. It should be Corpus, especially since the main ability to the new Warframe is fire. And for the dude joining or whoever joined, sorry you had to join in with me saying some stuff like this. But this game has been ridiculous when it comes to the developer ideas. And if it wasn't for the ideas that I had to think about today, I probably wouldn't have even made this video. But pretty much Uriel does flames. It's World of Flames from Ember, which, guess what? Got reworked, got removed, and now they threw it onto this frame, which, again, I can say is lazy instead of actually making a whole new thing. Same with some people's favorite, which is Yareli. If you guys remember not Dinos, Rhino's diamond skin, okay? What does her wakeboard ability do? It's basically Rhino. They got lazy. Now, I can't say this is the first time they've done it, because again, I've given you 2 frames now, which means they've also done it in the past. But they reworked Rhino's diamond skin and called it broken or whatever, and then ended up making 2 tweaks. One, making it where it has a cosmetic, and two, pretty much not going full invulnerability, just reduce 2 damage. Okay. And then said that's a good idea for a Warframe ability. And to go in a little more detail, this wakeboard could have just been a skin for something that's already in the game you get early on, which is going to be under the gears tab here, which I don't have it up here for the fact of I got the motorcycle, this, and then the Arcwing. But if we do this and scroll down, it most certainly could have been a skin for this, which is your waveboard. Okay, it did not need to be a ability for a Warframe. It's kind of very easy to point stuff like that out. It is absolutely horrible. I love Warframe, I do. I played it for multiple years. I played on multiple accounts, hence how I can go back to Ember's World of Flames. I can go back to Rhino's Diamond Skin. I can go back to when everybody talked about Excalibur Prime, which, by the way, is more of a joke. I mean, there was one release, but it was only given to basically a select few of devs that was more like showing it off, and it didn't really release to public. But anyways, I can go back to well earlier in the past. I played for a few years. I know a little about Warframe. But also at the same time, again, I can say I love Warframe. I hate some of the decisions they have made. And I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Especially with the whole point for like the past stream, if you're the same person that came in the past stream when I was doing my rant a second ago, which I needed to get some more stuff off my chest when I just sat down playing for a bit and I just thought about this and I was like, I need to make another video on this. That is going to be mod carts. Like when you mod a Warframe or a weapon or anything in game, anything that comes from a special key or anything like that should not basically nerf your Warframe into the ground. Like, dude, I'm losing over half ability duration to this because that's negative 60%. 50 is half. That's 10% more than half, okay? I'm losing half ability duration while trying to make my Warframe stronger. Again, ability efficiency minus duration. But what's funny about that is efficiency helps duration. That's a very dumb idea to say that one thing gets buffed that instantly affects duration. I mean, yeah, this kind of cancels itself out in a way because efficiency makes it so you don't drain as fast, but then your duration is very, very low. But also duration is in the time that it actually works. So like something on Excalibur where having it tick really slowly would be great, but then in duration where it's based on a hardcore set time, like 30 seconds, now gets reduced to 10 seconds because of the fact of negative 60, or actually not 10, but like maybe 15 seconds. But well, 15 would be half 30, so we'll say 12 seconds, which literally just cancels out what most frames do anyways. Blind Rage here. Ability strength, but we lose efficiency. But efficiency is how long you can do stuff. Again, it is basically the same as duration here. Why am I getting stronger but losing basically strength at the same time? If you get what I mean. And these cards are older than what people think they are. Okay, these are some pretty old cards. Let's be honest. Overextended. I mean, we get ability range, but then we lose again 60% ability strength. At this point, hold on. If we are looking at this, I've already lost 75 ability duration due to this. Efficiency basically is the same as that. I've lost even more. And then I'm only barely gaining any range. And yes, there's cards out there we can use for like, I don't think I used it on this one. I might have. Or I might not have gotten it, but I was looking to see that status on self. Don't care about it. I don't think I earned it on this one. So I'm going to have to go get it from a vault. But there is one that'll actually help with efficiency. But then you lose strength, which I get like balancing, but you can remove the minus ability duration there and just make this 30% ability efficiency or 45. And you've already nerfed how much this gives without having to directly take from the player, if that makes sense. So we're no longer having to take 2 steps forward to take 2 steps back and be basically where we are. If not, we're technically 3 steps backwards because we're basically losing 3 of the same thing: efficiency, duration, and then duration, which all 3 are tied to basically how long an ability can run. So efficiency is one of those where it ticks down, like instead of taking 10 energy per second, maybe it's 5. So that way at 5, it's reducing the amount it costs. So again, your energy can run longer. Okay? So if I'm actually removing efficiency, which makes the ability cost more over time or more in general, then I'm also losing duration, which means if I'm affecting my duration, that's even more of a loss to how long my energy or how long an ability lasts. I've taken 3 steps backwards just to take, 2 steps forward? 2 things for my strength here? It's kind of pointing that out. And that's why I made my stream earlier basically named Y level to nerf, basically. Because instead of progressing, we're regressing. We're going backwards, mainly. We're not going forwards. We're going backwards. If that crosses your mind at any point, guys, we are going backwards. And that is with like plus 45 ability duration, at least if you're going to do what these cards are doing, massively buff your prime cards. So instead of having only 55 ability duration here at a maxed prime continuity. Maybe it's 80%. Leave the cost the same for the levels. Just make it go up to 80. And guess what? That would cancel out a good portion of what two of these are doing, making you actually at least take a step
Hello.
forward a bit more. I'll get name callouts in just a second, guys. Same with like Prime Flow here. I got 151 plus 151% energy max, which is supposed to give 151%, not just 151, but the actual percentage of whatever my main energy is. So it says 804 here on this character, but I can tell you it's not 804. I get in game, it's like 300 or 400. It's not 800. So either that's a complete bug or oversight, or I'm actually not being represented the proper facts here with energy with the what these cards are saying. And then by
How many
then I
hours
get
do
down.
you have on Warframe?
On this account, I have no clue actually on this account. I have two accounts to Warframe. My main account got hacked twice due to a different game. It wasn't Warframe, it was literally like Call of Duty and, well, a game people knew around the time was Rust. Got me hacked twice. So I ended up pretty much having the account banned through PlayStation. And there is proof on my YouTube. If you guys want to go over, go to the community and scroll down about 4 or 5 years, and you guys will see that proof with screenshots onto the community tab there.
If you remember, but in Will View 2003, I think I had you added like 10 years ago.
Give me 1 sec. YouTube crashed on my phone for the comments, so I'm actually reloading that now. Boop, boop. There we go. Gamer Girl, welcome, and I'm just gonna call you Dog. I don't know if you remember, but I'm Wild Dude 2003. No. I do not remember a Wild Dude 2003. What was your original name before that? But anyways, what was I going towards when we got out of this over here? Apart from being nerfed into the ground, we picked up around certain things. Back to basically going over like maybe it's not completely reducing that, which is very weird because you would actually see that this is energy is 190, and I think it actually matches 190, so it could just be the Warframe itself. But again, the devs are basically pulling from frames, saying they needed reworks that was broken just to put the old ability back onto new frames with maybe like a cosmetic ordeal or something like that. It's laziness and lies from the devs, pretty much. And I can say I love Warframe, but I gotta be honest about what the devs are doing. I can't like sit back and be quiet about it for the fact of I've played Warframe for a minute. Oh, you're asking the time, how much I played. This account probably has like I think it's like 240 something days. I can't really calculate that into hours, but my main account was basically at like day 600. When it got hacked, it was basically day 600, high in the mastery rank. Can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, it was, I think actually less in mastery for this one. I think it was like level 16 in mastery. So altogether, if we had 16 plus 17 here, you would know what the exact mastery
I
would be
love
if I
how
just played on one.
dedicated you are. I always see you pop up. Keep it up. Thumbs up.
Thank you. I've been doing YouTube for a long time. I've actually fallen off for a little bit due to when I had a couple deaths in the family, like legit family, my grandfather and my mom both. I'm not asking for sympathy. Please don't give me any. Um, But that's when I fell off for a little bit to do that. But I do want to point out the things that devs are doing wrong in video games. And some people agree, some people disagree. Some people say I need to shut the fuck up, and others will say, please open your mouth more. And hopefully you're one of those asking me to open my mouth more, because I love to open my mouth, make stuff known. Maybe more people get reached through it. The devs hear back from multiple people about it instead of just me. That way we can actually get a little bit more genuinism through our devs. So that way they're like, oh, well, we heard it from 1,000 people. Maybe something actually might be wrong, instead of just like, well, one person out of 1,000 has said this, but no one else has heard about it. No one's brought to the attention about it. So they don't really fully know. And I mean, I could give facts, but then even then, if I go to a web page to do so, I have to worry. I have to sit here and think, like, are people actually clicking in? Did I make the title attention grabbing enough for people to want to click into it? Because if I just go to a forum, let's be honest, you're going to see 1,000 different forums, and which one are you clicking on? The ones that are attention grabbing. So I'd have to make a really good name to the forum before people want to click into it, compared to making a video or outreaching to a single person each time in game for them to see it in real time, reply about it with their own feelings or thoughts, and then see exactly what's going on and outreach thousands of people that way, where then people are actually having this brought to their attention, is much better than going to just any genuine forum and just posting about it. Because then I have to grab something that's an eye opener to being like, horrible devs, and then that could get shut down by the developers because they try to hide it. Maybe it's backlash to the devs, so they want to remove it due to that. But at the same time, if I come and I get millions of views this way, then those millions of people can go directly straight to the devs with the same problem, same facts, same everything, and then the devs are more likely to do something about it than just hide it or anything like that. I'm not saying they would hide it. I'm just saying if they were those type of devs, they could. If I just went straight to a forum, especially if I put at devs in there, it's eye popping for sure, where people are going to click it because it's talking about the developers in the game. But then the devs are more likely going to be wanting to be more responsible to hide it or remove it at that point. That way they can keep people on the direct path they're already going and not actually be aware of what's going on. So bringing awareness to what's going on inside of Warframe and other games. And I'm not just taking this into Warframe only. I'm taking this every game developer, like from Warframe to Call of Duty to Battlefield, not just the known titles, but even stuff like Grand Theft Auto, which, yes, a lot of people know it, but I call it a different name because I feel like it's horribly made and needs a good fix to a lot of things in game before I can even call it good. That's a whole nother video to go on about. But anyways, stuff like, I don't know, Fortnite, which some people call it big, but again, I have issues with stuff in the game that other people don't, but I do. So this is more of like, if you're the type of player that loves that, you'll like it, but I don't. I don't like the whole building aspect of making people run out of ammo before you go fight them. I prefer more skill, so it's equal opportunity is equal chance. And I don't mean like I build, you build, I build, you build until one of us runs out of ammo. I'm talking about like our actual gunfighting skills is either equal or better. Being able to shoot straighter, being able to hit your target, I feel like should be more of how Fortnite went than building. And I don't like the rarity of gear. Realistically, if I go buy a ghillie suit in real life, yeah, there's a chance like stuff can get pulled off of it and make the suit more like it's more oblivious or something like that, but that's just care to the ghillie. That's not like, oh, I got a golden rarity ghillie. It's the best version of it. It is not a real thing. So I don't like having that where like you get a gold ghillie and it has more damage reduction in health than a purple, right? Or a blue. Remove the rarity. Don't like that type of stuff. Make it balanced. Everybody has the same gear. The only time gear gets better is if it's like compared to like if someone's wearing a ghillie suit or riot gear. I can understand riot gear being a little more tanky than a ghillie suit, but there shouldn't be four different types of riot gear where it's like white level, blue level, green level, and so forth. Just make it riot gear. But anyways, whole nother video. In fact, to that why Fortnite I call it under the bus, not a known title like Call of Duty once was. Um, and stuff like that. It's stuff to go on and on about. But again, it's keeping the devs to go from the greedy pool where they're just trying to do a cash grab or just be lazy to being more representative to who they would actually fundamentally should be as a game dev. And that's going to be open to talk to the community to gain the actual true feedback and make stuff that isn't ripping you off. Because let's be honest, the whole rework situation I've been seeing is not really reworks. They're just choosing to pull shit from frames to put it on frames in the future with a slight tweak to it. Just so they can say they got a brand new frame, which is lazy. And I can't like one of the frames they released. It's another one. It's not just this one frame. The thing for this frame actually started on the frame it released before this one. If you guys know Aroxia, okay? If you don't, let's go right here. And I can't remember if it's OR or AR. Okay, I think it actually might be AR. Where are you? Okay, I actually do not know how to spell her. It is an O, I believe. I'm trying to think. She might actually just show up underneath here, and we go to actual frames, so Warframes. And we are like that. Oh, right here. ORA. That's how you spell her. She's a spider frame, which spider frame is not bad, right? She looks good, but climbing on walls and having to sit still to get more damage is not only is that boring if you're having to watch a streamer use it because that's their play style and they're just sitting still, kind of like a Call of Duty camper does. It's boring. As you can see, they're having to be on a wall and sitting still and latching to shoot to get the damage buff. Which, by the way, that is her last ability, her fourth. But, see, that's a good ability. Being able to, like, ensnare enemies, maybe kind of like, well, I'll show you the frame in a second. And we'll go over that more here in a second. But being able to, like, slam into enemies, okay, you dive onto an enemy like a spider pounces on someone and bites them because there are spiders that actually can jump and pounce, right? But let's go back to the web ability. Because being able to shoot a web out and ensnare enemies would have been a lot better than having to sit on a wall, let's be honest. And there's already a Warframe that does it. It could have just been a minor tweak to the ability, which again is barring ability. But if you guys know who this frame is, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. She sends out this right here. Well, actually, no, it's her whip ability, I believe, isn't it? No, it's the snare ability. So you can see she sends out a dome, and it looks like a spider web intricate in a dome of electrical chains that when enemies walk into it, they get ensnared and they get shocked. Right? They could have done a rework of this to throw on Aroxia, and I would have been a lot happier. But again, the whole Aroxia is where I literally started having my own questions about the developer idea pool of Warframes. And then they decided that was how they're going to make Aroxia. And then they're like, oh, a good idea for Yareli. And then that's when it just really tanked the pool for me, because this could have just been a skin for something already in the game you earn. Okay, hold on. Let's go up here. You earn it legitimately right here. The second planet most people will go to, because some people go up instead of down first. But you start over here, you work your way down here through Ironway, go down through here to this little web-like thing down here. See this little white string comes down to Venus? And then you go over to Venus. And then you're immediately hitting E-Gate. You do E-Gate and go to Fortuna. Complete the Fortuna stuff, and boom, you have that as a gear item you can literally whistle blow and call in to ride as any Warframe. Any Warframe can get that. Why is Aroxia getting a wave board? Something you get literally not even 5 missions away. Makes no sense. Like, devs. Who got paid for this horrible idea? I'm not joking. Hold on. Let me point this out a little bit more for you guys. It's basically Rhino's diamond skin with a slight rework to also add in something to it. Let's go to a really, really good map to show this off. Like, I don't know, the Void. And look for a Void survival right quick that I can leave after joining it. So sorry, anyone, if I'm ruining your game by joining, having you be able to play, and then immediately doing that right here, survival. Nope, it's an exterminate. Defense. Here we go, Mott. This will work. So if you guys know, to use abilities in Warframe, you hold R1, and you get to choose X, square, circle, or triangle after holding it for your different abilities. Well, if I just come right out here in the bright light, I hold R1 and I press this. We are riding a fucking wave board. To make this even more ridiculous, I can do this, and if I had it up here, I could call it in, like you do the, bike here, and you're able to drive around, jump with the bike, and, do all this, but you also get a wave board, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. Let's go ahead and abort the mission, okay? Literally, you just seen me call in transportation as a ability, pretty much. Hold on, let's do this. And let's go to my gear wheel. We're going to remove off one of my gear items, like, for instance, this, because I only have one of those left. And we're just going to stick this bad puppy on there, okay? So now we have every one of the different vehicles onto my gear wheel just for giggles right now. But let's go over here, go back to the Void right quick on Mott. Sorry, squads, that I'm ruining the experience for. I really am so sorry. I really am. I'm doing this because I need to prove a point. Not going to lie, his ship actually looks pretty good. Just remove the blue trim. Where the blue is, add a little bit more black, and you'll actually have like the gold trim to the ship to make it look pretty good, or at least add some white into the ship. So that way it actually looks like how DE loves to overuse the stuff. But if I do this, notice I can't use it in this one, but I basically can. Okay? Literally, I got a wave board, something that isn't usable in this mission, with this character. And it's basically Rhino's diamond skin, because if I'm on the wave board, not only do I get a little bit of immunity, and you can see it basically is a wave board. I can jump. I can do this. I can levitate around. But we do get one other thing. Notice I can't use weapons. Okay, I'm literally spamming L2 and R2. The only thing I can do with her is ability spam. Okay, so again, uses energy. But at the same time, I get damage reduction, so they don't do as much damage as they would if I was on foot when they shoot me. Okay? And we do got the new frame in here, which is actually pretty cool. I know that because of the fire there, and they're using a purple version of it. Nice. But look, I'm taking a little bit of hits. My Taxon here can kill. That's the only thing shooting right now is this little, not Taxon, but this dude here, Nautilus Prime, which I'll actually show you. There's my Naruk. Where are you? Right here, Nautilus Prime, level 30. This is the thing that's shooting right now. I'm taking reduced damage to them shooting while being on this waveboard. The only thing I can do is, let me get back on it. Ability cast, I can do my fourth ability. Whoops. Why is my circle ability? There we go. I do this. Do this. There we go. And then we can pop it by doing this and then popping it. And it does a little bit of damage, as you can see. But this is all she does. Like, what dev? Like, okay, whoever designed how she looks needs to get paid. Who thought about the abilities, okay, they get half paid. Because I like the Rhino Diamond skin. I like the damage reduction that I'm absolutely getting. But I don't like it in the way that I'm riding a gear item in the game. Literally, like, I can go to an open world, and instead of having to use this, I could go use the other one and be just fine. Okay? Yeah, just make it the regular diamond skin and remove the fucking wave board. That's what I'm saying. They were fucking lazy. Okay? Again, do this, which cast out this. We're going to cast this back. Do this. Break the ability. And she absolutely does do good with these three. So what this one here is doing, if I get in range of enemies, you can see it deals water damage like blades over time. That's what this is doing. It's not damaging, but it's good enough. Okay? This could have just been the diamond skin. Running this, where she gets this ability, you can see I do get a little bit of damage reduction compared to what I was just taking a second ago. That's why I hopped off the waveboard to show. But utilizing this, with basically landmines, it goes out and tracks enemies. And then this, which sucks enemies in and creates a water explosion. Those are not bad. Okay? They're not bad. Just this ability you see me running right now with the fucking vehicle that my character is riding needs a rework immediately. This was a horrible fucking idea. Please discredit the dev who done this. Okay? Yes, the waveboard looks cool, but again, that could have just been a fucking skin. Alright, now that I'm actually leaving this mission, because I don't really care about the resources I just got. Really don't. I can come with the Necros Prime and get ×8 of it. Easy. But, again, my point is proven. Okay, it is massively proven itself. They are lazy. They lied to the people who is playing this game and need a reprimand for it. Now, can I say that the rework to this is horrible? Right here to this frame? No, I absolutely love this rework. But to show you how broken this is, I'm not running any keys, nothing. If I go to my gear wheel, you guys will see if I go to gear, I'm running no keys. I have no Hobble Dragon key, none of that. Okay? The only thing I have, which is on my Warframe itself, which you can see I'm supposed to have 377 energy, okay, with all of this put on, which, by the way, has a primed flow, giving 151 extra %. So what is this, like 150 energy? Only to get 377? Kind of weird, especially on a frame that evolves around using legit everything else. And you can see I am using something to resist a little bit of damage here because I wanted a little bit more armor. You see the health and shield here. That's the numbers I didn't want to talk about earlier, but it's okay. This Warframe is nice. just needs a little bit of rework. On a frame that expects you to use abilities, to gain the fourth ability, to then be able to world nuke, is not good when it has a very low energy pool. Okay? Especially if you're looking to make upgrade the energy to have more damage and more range, especially if you're looking to room nuke like I'm doing. You lose a very good portion of it, especially it costs more to use your abilities at this point. And that's not to mention, hold on, almost forgot about this. I removed crystals off of another frame to put it on this one. So if we actually remove the cyst right quick, before it actually lets me absolutely use the other part of this table. Which, by the way, I cannot skip this cutscene. I wish I could to make things a little faster. I just can't. So you guys are forced to watch it too. So, boop. We can go into here, and then go up to here. And then you can see I'm running maximum energy is filled on spawn. So I spawn with a little more energy. 75 effectiveness on energy orbs. So I should be getting 75% extra more. And for some reason, I'm only getting like 50 energy per fucking one. But GG. Here's where I'm actually getting a little bit more of my tankiness from, which is my Tau Forged version of armor here for the blue. And then plus 10% extra ability strength through this, which, by the way, this is a regular one. It's not a Tau Forged one. I'm waiting to get a Tau Forged red because I'd love a Tau Forged red. But besides the point, that's the only thing I have not shown on this character yet. I decided to go ahead and get it out of the way. Now let's show you guys how much energy it gets, how fast it gets wasted, and everything like that. Which, by the way, guys, another way I can point out how fast he wastes energy. Through the energy spam to constantly nuke rooms, I went from 600 energy, okay, like these. I went from 600 to 100 and something the other day. And I'm just now crafting back up near 400 energies again. I'm not lying. Okay? If we go back to Mott, which is the survival, and go on a room nuke binge spree with this, I am constantly gaining energy through my stance pretty much on the Warframe. I forget what it's actually full called, but you use this ability, and then you constantly just spam your ability out while also collecting these little fire orbs. And notice I'm already back down to 85. Now I'm back up to 43 energy added just off of that. Do that. Oh, now I'm back to 45. Now I'm having to absolutely wait. There's no energy orbs right here to collect. Okay, maybe there might be one over here. Nope, I was wrong. We're back to 52. Still waiting. Still waiting. See that red bar? That's what we got to fill. Okay, now I'm back to higher energy from literally having to wait is the best way to say that. Is this not the way to go? No, it is not. Okay. I am absolutely having to wait to use a good portion of my ability again. And then by the time I do, I'm having to do this, where I'm having to also pull this ability, already reset, and boom, then I use this. That way I get the higher chance of getting that. And then it only goes up by that much. Then I have to reuse this, and then I'm back to waiting again. Okay? Look. This is the new frame. And again, to get that final ability, which I'm still waiting on, there we go. It's almost ready. Pick up energy off the ground, so I'm back to 200. And waiting for it. Use this, where then we use this. It's going to build. There we go. We unlocked it. I can now use it. And to show you how ridiculously big this is, the best place to do that is probably this room directly in the center. Hold on, we're not directly, but you guys get the idea, like standing on top of this. The whole bottom floor, this whole thing here, it went all the way over to this door into this room. It's done the whole thing down there, done this, again, done the whole bottom floor, right? But that's how long it lasts. It didn't really last that long. It's just like a little quick room nuke, and then I have to re-go back and do this, and this. Oh, there we go. We got it up there a little bit more. Recook, redo this one, spam down an energy. Gotta wait. Spam again. Gotta wait. Okay, now I can re-room nuke again. And again, I'm having to spam energy every time I want to get this. Just wanted to make that clear. So and look, I only get 350. Hold on, at max is 3,700. Well, 377 energy at max. Wanted to point that out. And this is a energy-ridden frame. You have to use your energy to build up your final, for the most part. I mean, yes, I could run around and build it, but it takes a really long time to do that. To absolutely build it and then get the room nuke, you have to be doing what you see me doing here. And to build it to be this strong and cover the amount of area it has, removes the efficiency from my actual Warframe here. So not only does it not last as long, but we are, how do I say this? Like when it's on the ground and actually active, is only for a couple seconds. It's not even that long. And these are the little things you can go around and collect like that to help boost your red. But again, if I do this, it does that, covers that, even again, covers the whole fucking second floor. Okay, it's huge. But when this all goes away is how long it lasts. Just wanted to point that out. We're almost at the 5-minute marker. And within 5 minutes, we've only casted this, 3 times? Which is not super horrible, but at the same time, it's very slow to gain this up. With the amount of energy that is here. So, what I'm thinking, as you can see, it is basically world burn when I use the 4th ability. Hence why I also brought this dude. But, yeah, it's kind of oofed. Like, Warframe just needs to make better decisions on developing, while also, like, keeping cool decisions like this, but having the knowledge to know, like, okay, it's going to take X, Y, and Z to do it, and they're going to need a lot more X, Y, and Z to be able to do it, meaning in this case, energy. Maybe have a higher fucking energy pool. I mean, literally, that could be asked for. Literally, a higher fucking energy pool would have made this a lot better. Like, a 500 energy pool at base would have been good. Hello? I didn't even touch the void. I hit, like, right here, but I was still able to jump up. GG game, GG. Yeah, it's one of those things I feel like the developers should have paid a little more attention to. Again, laziness, because they didn't go back and do the research on it, or even game test it to make sure before releasing it. Because a simple little game test could have made that 100 times better. I'm not joking. Oh, there's 3 waiting for me. Fuck it. I ain't gonna worry about, like, 1 of those. Okay, before this goes, we got a couple seconds to get there. I wanted the gold room, and I'm here. With the room being golden. I didn't gain much. We did get 7 Argon crystals, so again, you can see this is how you farm it, is the survival here, right? But especially if you have an Necros Prime. But anyways, you can see why I'm saying they are lazy and have lied to the community. This whole video has been about it. Um, Again, a good 500 energy pool for, Uriel would have been a whole lot better than 377, especially when I'm having to run, we'll say not even a max level version of this, but again, that hits duration. Right here, 90 ability strength, but it removes efficiency, which means my casting cost is even more because instead of going to 100% 100 efficiency, it's down to 80. Overextended, which removes some ability strength just to have range, which by the way is what I'm actually trying to build for, is range and ability strength. So weird that it's being hit, and certain reasons for that I've said in the past already. But again, ability strength, and then by duration again. Like, do we not foresee the issue with this, where it is removing actual strength when you're building for strength? It actually makes no sense. I do need to run more Orokin Vaults because I do need to grab some of the other mods from it. But the only mods I'm looking to grab from the Orokin Vault, and I saved a screenshot, I will name them for you. Let me go to my camera roll on my phone for the screenshots. Come on, phone. Thank you. Photos. Also got the stream open in the background too. That's the only way I can keep like comments. I can't pop it out with this phone or it literally like crashes stream. That's why it crashed earlier. Well, not like the exact stream, but it just like closes YouTube on my phone for some reason, which is very weird. All right, collections. We are going to go to screenshots. All right. The only thing here is going to be Blind Rage. Okay. For this screenshot. And then the other one is Narrow-minded, increases ability duration, reduces ability range. Notice an issue with that? Overextended, increases ability range, reduces ability strength. Transient fortitude, increases ability strength, reduces ability duration. Again, you are trying to buff something while massively nerfing yourself at the same time. Okay? I need to get those mods, but also at the same time, like my bubble is only going to be like the size of maybe this room here by the time I have max power and its max range. And to make it funny, in order to get these mods and why it's so irritating that it's like it is, not only do I have to go to my gear wheel, select like this, I have to come and grab, Decaying Dragon Key, which, by the way, shields are greatly reduced while key is equipped. Full shield gate duration is capped at 0.33 seconds. So again, I have less shield. And to show you how squishy I become, we're going to do this. We're going to get rid of this where I was doing that earlier. We have this one, which is the Dragon Key. Damage is greatly reduced while key is equipped. So not only am I losing shield and damage, let's go to the Bleeding Dragon now, which is going to be health is greatly reduced. So now, not only do I have less shield, less damage, I get less health. Hold on, there's more. If I get rid of the scanner, the Hobbled Dragon Key, speed is greatly reduced. So not only am I losing shield, damage, health, but now I also move like a slug. And you have to wear all three because when you go and open one of the doors, which can be found on a particular planet, which we're going to go to, it is Deimos, you're going to run this, and I'm just going to quickly show you guys how ridiculously stupid this is. Because we're going to do one run on stream, or at least not just one, we might do multiple. But I'm just making the stream aware and viewers aware that, and look, my game broke. I have to literally close it and re-click it again to find a squad. Warframe, that hasn't been fixed in 5 years. It's still doing that after 5 years. Oh boy. But anyways, let's get by that and show you guys what I have to deal with while being in here. Now, I can make this more livable if I want to use a vault. So if I use a max energy vault where it makes me walk and run faster no matter what, I can. But Here is my sprint speed. I can go like this, I can roll, I can do this, I can jump, I can spiral jump, but this is my movement speed through the entire thing while searching out for these vaults. Look at my health. Look at my shield. Do we see the issue compared to every other player in this lobby right now? Except for URR, because he's playing a pretty okay frame, and he's probably got keys too, but we can really massively see the issue, right? Right, we see that, right? Okay, so it's not this way. We're gonna go this way. There is a thing up here we're gonna check out. Not really much. I don't really see a thing over here. So we're just gonna go ahead and continue going this way. Oh, this elevator is broken. Broke it did. I mean, I can do that and force myself to have a little more, but I shouldn't have to. And again, this is my movement speed. I cannot sprint. I have to sit here and just play like this. I have to kind of do this. Now, I can make myself go faster with this frame because what you just seen, I can actually get this frame to fly. As long as I got somewhat on my red bar, I can do this again, which forces movement speed, but I kind of have to force it, hence the wording there. Force. Okay? I don't like that. I should be able to be just fine in the mission with the key. And again, I have to deal with this every time I make a run. And if I get 5 duplicates back to back, I have to keep crafting more keys and coming back to do this. Every time. Okay. Now you get the headache. And why I'm literally bitching. Yes, bitching about how they built the ability cards and stuff. I mean, not just this. Again, when you play a game and you level up, you expect to get better, powerful, and stronger, not take an L, like nerf the shit you're trying to make better, which is your Warframe. But anyways, let's continue going. That door's not unlocked. All right, so the key's got to be up top somewhere up here, or we have like massively ran past it. I do have to call the elevator for this one back down. But I'm going to show you guys a little trick that you need to start doing whenever the elevator is down. So you're not like anyone back here hunting doesn't run into the issue of what I just had to do. Just literally climb the freaking pole. Okay? Even if you come off the pole, which I'm going to show you, it is still doable. Hop up, spiral jump, just make sure you do it correctly and you didn't do it like I did. Okay? I kind of fucked that up. That was my fault. Okay? So we're going to come up, go into the little thing here, jump back up here. Again, you can do this, and if you're not good at doing this, spiral jump for the glass, come over here, spiral jump up to here, okay? Doable. You can see, I came up top, didn't have to call the elevator. It's not the hardest thing, just takes a little bit of practice. Yes, I can say a little bit of skill as well, but you're not forcing people at the bottom to call the elevator down. And this dude's already cleared the level. We're actually looking for a specific thing. Sorry, there, buddy boy. But we are looking for the Orokin Vault, which will be a door marked with a really great white outline. This dude is probably setting on exfil like, why are they not coming over here? And I just explained to the stream why, just not him directly. There are rooms like this where it has like vines going through the floor that you will want to look around for, and you do want to go through every little room. Here's another elevator. Don't really care about that. I think this is where we came through, wasn't it? Which means we need to go through... Where was that other door? This wasn't there too... Yeah, it was this one. Right? Oh god, I don't remember exactly which rooms we came through and what we did. That's going to be a slight issue, but it's okay. They are out that way, so I think that way is actually where we came through. So we actually can go this way without actually going down to them. Because, yeah, we're going out this way. So we actually can take this elevator and go down. Okay. I believe, I could be wrong. It could have been this one we came out of, because it could have been right there where we come up and went up. But easy way to check is just check every little doorway. I do mean every single one. And you can see the headachiness of this, right? Like, you're spending all this time where you could possibly get duplicates. See, I did that. First try this time. Takes a little bit of skill to do it, but you can do it. Anyone can. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? I do that. But anyways, we're going to go this way, and hopefully this way isn't the way back, because I'm going to check out the tunnels over here. Because, yes, they can be, like, right here. We go this way. It could actually be, like, right here where we go through a tunnel and go into the little doorway. It's plausible. You can go up, and, like, a door like this could be open where you go in, and it could have been, like, right there. It could be over there. Could have been, is being the keyword behind all that. This is not it. So we can actually go right back out here, and we're going to, whoops, not go into the water like an idiot. Right here. There we go. We're going to check this side now, where we come through here. This is closed. Come over here. This side is closed. So it wasn't this way. So it wasn't this side. So we've lost it, as in somewhere probably at the very beginning. So the people way back there are hunting. I mean, it even could be near the actual ending itself, because we stayed by this room. Let's go towards the ending. Because, again, we could be having to go through here, down this way to look for it. Because, again, it could be right here. Could have been. I've seen it in the underground sections before. That's why I searched it. Come up here. Through here. Just make 110% sure. Okay, no vault. And yeah, they forced our hand here to leave. So you get players like that could ruin an experience where we're hunting it. So now we're pulled. And we have to go back in and try it again. But that's the experience you're getting, guys. You're throwing the keys on, you're nerfing the crap out of yourself just for, what, a chance to find it? And a chance for players to insta-pull you because they just don't want to look, they don't care, or they just don't know to. It's oof. So to go through that entire headaching experience to look for that one particular door that could randomly spawn on the map at any given time, again, utilizing a key to open the door, having negative feedback to your abilities, directly nerfing players is not a good idea. There's a reason people like him exist who didn't care, and that is because they don't want to fuck around with the bullshit. And I will say it is bullshit, okay? And that's nothing against him. I'm full blaming the devs on that one. That actually goes straight to the devs who thought that was a good idea. So, yeah, no. And this is why I said earlier, like if they're going to do like negative stuff towards abilities, like example, instead of doing it to something you get out of an Orokin vault, like Blind Rage, or you have to go through specific like hidden vaults that's hidden inside certain mission types on the open worlds, don't add negatives to those. Add negatives to the base game fucking mods. That way, at least you're using these, which nerf your frame. And then when you go and get progressively better at the game and you progress further, you're actually getting rid of the stuff that nerfs you in order to make you better. You know, called progression would be better. But yeah, even with that, and you can see I'm only getting like what 0.3 energy per second, especially on a frame that needs to spam abilities. I am getting horrible energy per second. I am better off at this point removing adaption and throwing on, where is it? I forget the name of the mod. So I'm gonna have to find it myself too, so you guys can get the idea of what it's going to be like. Actually, we could just do enter like that, which is this one. I would need a full level version of this, which is 3 energies per second, while also running this at the same time to constantly spam out what I'm dishing here. Okay? That is what is needed. So when you see people make builds, it's, I nuke the room! And they're constantly throwing energy around like it's nothing. That's questionable, especially when it's um, minus efficiency, so it costs more to use, and um, the duration is horribly low on top of well, how long it takes for your ability to last slash that slash the amount of energy they get. Just figured I'd point that out. So if you see anyone spamming the shit out of Uriel's ability with stuff that's removing a crap ton of like actual time he can use the energy, question it. Okay? Because it's either that or they are literally pound caking down their throat like a fat kid just grabbing a handful of cheesecake and cramming it down his throat and constantly grabbing more, going through these. Okay? They're going to be going through these. A lot of them. All right. Yeah, it takes only a minute to craft them, but at the same time, like when you get 600 and you're going through like one frame, literally 3 missions. I believe it was literally 3 missions of just constant spamming. I went down to 100 and something and had to literally stop myself from using them, click off of this frame, go to a frame that isn't energy bias, and start crafting them again. Okay? Just figured I'd kind of point that out. And yes, I am doing this, do that. And we're going to craft one more of these and one more of these because of the grind, you know, of actually having to open the vaults and it having random RNG. And if you're wondering, yes, I could absolutely just go ahead and run those and say fuck it because I'm only looking for one mod in particular for myself. But I'm also trying to regrind a duplicate set for one of my close friends whose name is Pombo. That way he... Hold on. Oh, actually, it was actually on this. Okay, my bad. That way you can see I do have overextended and blind rage here, maxed and near maxed. And then if I scroll through here for a second, which one's a D, so we'll just go to the D cards. You'll see right here, overextended unlevel, one duplicate, meaning only have one, is there. And then if I actually go over to my Ys, you'll see we have another duplicate of Blind Rage. So we actually have 2 of each card, right? That way I can give them to Pombo. And then I need to get Transient Fortitude, okay? A duplicate version of it, so I can give it to Pombo. And then I need to get, what was it again? Narrow-minded. I need to get 2 narrow-minded so I can put one on myself and give one to Pombo. That way we have all 4 of the 5 matching cards that would go in here good. But at the same time, like, I'd have to remove adaptation here to put on Energy Nexus. And I don't even have one of these. Okay? So I'm actually going to have to run Relic missions and craft one. And the funny thing behind that is they are absolutely ridiculous to craft. The reason I'm saying that is because when you need one of those, you need it at the moment. You're not wanting to wait 10 years. And I can absolutely promise you, hold on, I'm under keys, modular, mining. Is it under... I know I have... It have to be under gear. Okay. So they're under here somewhere. I'm just overlooking. Yep, no, they're not going to do that. Okay, we're actually going to do... We're going to type in 4 for Forma. And... Oh, there we go. They're under miscellaneous. So, like, the weapon adapter, that is literally making me wait basically a day. Oh, regular, like, this is an Omni Forma. It takes 4 Formas to make one of these, which can take anything, by the way. I don't have to mod for a specific slot. And, yeah, it's 24 hours. As a regular Forma, to craft one of these, I believe is also 24 hours. Like, it's an entire day craft, or it's 12. It's like maybe 12. So you can craft 2 every day pretty much if you're up that long. And the amount of formas needed is oof. Just figured I'd kind of point that out. So, yeah, I'm having to go do the relic mission, come back, maybe have 2 blueprints, craft 1, wait 12 hours, craft another one, and then by then I'm able to, like, Forma 2 slots. But that's a no-go. Okay, that's a big no-go. Again, I'd have to go through here and take a look. Like, there's a Forma. There's some of these that have, like, ×2 Forma blueprint. But if I quickly... I wish I could actually look at it and see what the actual craft time was for that without having to go run this mission and hope to get this. Because it could give me this, 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 or this per time I run it. And then I'd be one of those that's like, Bratton Prime. Second time running it. Bratton Prime. Third time running it. Bratton Prime there. Literally over and over the same thing. I'm one of those that has that luck when it comes to opening relics. Because they don't have a thing where it's like you earned a relic. Like, let's say I open this and I'm running a survival. Instead of being like, okay, his last thing was the Bratton Prime, giving anything else on that list. Like, for instance, if I got a Furus Prime here, right? Blueprint, instead of having something in game, it goes, he got that last time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other items we can give him. And giving me any one of these other 5, the game's like, no, let's go ahead and give him the Bratton Prime, the Afris Prime again, right? It will literally drop this twice back to back. There needs to be something that stops that. Maybe on the 3rd drop, like if I got the Afris Prime, maybe the next time I got the Shade Prime, then after that I got the Forma, then maybe cycle back to a Furus Prime here. But a Furus Prime, a Furus Prime, a Furus Prime, something needs to counter that and like have it check in the system what your last reward was so you don't get the same thing twice back to back like that. Okay? I have the unluckiness of having that happen, especially in not even just relic missions. If I was to go to like Cetus or Fortuna and I run the missions that's there, and maybe I'm grinding like Garuda, I'll get Garuda like chassis 2 times in the same mission. Literally, like the third, like the second half, like the set, like where it has 3 nodes, like it's 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 parts to a mission. The second half, when I earn its reward, Garuda chassis. Then the third one, when I complete it, that actually completes the entire mission itself. Garuda chassis. Like literally, it happens twice like that, man. And dumb stuff like that. There needs to be something it checks what your last thing earned was. And I'm not shitting you guys. If I quickly do this and I go to I think equipment and then it's inventory, we go over to where is it? Focus, arcanes, gear. Nope. Is it? That's prime parts. It's imprints. It's vehicles. Arcwing, Necromax, amps, relics. Here. Okay. If I go here, I want you to see something. ×3 Gara. ×2 Garuda chassis. ×3 Gara. Are we seeing something here? And if I actually go look at, like, literally, I was running this with Pombo yesterday. On live stream, this is when this happened. But if I type in GARU, I had no parts of Gara. And then now here's what I have with Pombo. I got this twice, got this twice, got this once, got this once. Do we see the issue with that? This is one run of 2.5 hours of gameplay. We got all the parts. But it was done in the way of, well, I got 2 of these, then 2 of those, to finally earning singles. Right? But again, if I do GARA, 3, 3, 1, 1. If we do any other thing in the game, right? We are going to see there's Ember, so I got that twice on runs. You can kind of see what's there a lot of the time compared to what I got on other things. And again, it's multiple things in like one time in succession. It is weird. Again, I do have like this. The only thing is I wish they would remove the blueprints for the formas and just make it the forma outright. Would be great. That's something I would love to see as an improvement in this game, as a buff. Remove the blueprints to formas and make everything that earns the blueprint an actual just forma. Because all it's doing is, I'll actually show you what they do. I don't own one, but I can show you by just going to this. So for instance, if I was in here and I wanted to throw a forma, what it does is, see how this card is green? This would actually cost what this does, 12. So when you do a forma on a slot and you choose its thing, for instance, this one does any because of the fact of the circle there that you see, but it's supposed to be a Y. But what the forma does is makes your mod card cost half of its original price, as long as it matches. So if I try to put a Y and a D right here, it'll be like, nope, sorry, that's a no-go. And it would actually cost more. So you have to actually put a D inside of a D, a Y inside of a Y, a minus inside of a minus, okay? And then it'll reduce it by half. And then guess what else it does? See this fancy little 30 up here? This is your weapon level. Okay, this is what level your weapon is. When you forma, that thing goes back to 0. I have to re-level it back up. Okay? So on top of making this cost half of its mod cost, it strips the level to the weapon. Okay? And you can see there's no number right here. I have not forma this once. I have no forma on this guy. I have done the upgrade, just no forma. Okay? But if we come off this, you'll actually see if I go to my vaults, you're going to see something change here. Next to the level 30, I had to form a vault 5 times. Okay? And to be honest with you, to get everything I naturally want on not Excalibur, but Uriel, I need to fix that. So give me 1 second. We're just going to go to the pin right here. And instead of Excalibur, we're just going to type in Uriel. There we go. That way it's actually labeled as Uriel. But, boom, I'm going to need to throw in a Forma here in order to add in the card that I need here. Okay? And to throw that in is going to be a brand new card, which is narrow-minded. So let's actually go take a look at what narrow-minded actually look. Oh, I'm thinking I'm clicking on the link. I don't know exactly what that looks like. So let's see if we can find it on the table over here to see if I can actually check it out. So if we go to Universe, we go to Mods, we click our move button in to bring up this, and then type in narrow, NAR, and we're going to look to see if we can find narrow-minded on here. There it is, narrow-minded. This card here, which right now says preview. I can't actually preview this, okay? But you can see right here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels. I can't see what this naturally cost at base, but you're going to have to add 10 to it. So I'm guessing it's probably going to cost like maybe, well, if there's 10, let's see. It's probably going to cost what this other card costed at base. I still have my dragon key on and stuff like that. I can fill it because the movement speed, haven't turned it off yet. It's probably the same as this. So it's going to cost 2 and possibly get all the way up to cost 15. Okay? So yeah, I'm probably going to end up having to Forma this and Forma this in order to throw it on. Okay? So I'm at least going to need 2 more Formas. So this is going to require me to have a 2 Forma. Unless I want to try to go for any other card type, like, these or other things, and, well, other cards that I don't have yet that might cost more, then I'm probably looking at having to throw 3, 4, 5, if not 6 Formas into the frame. So, yeah, they need to make Formas, especially earned through this. Like right there, you can see Forma times 2. This should not be a blueprint. Just make it the Forma. Okay? Just make it the Forma. That's not too much to ask for. Especially since if we come over to this and you play for free and rank up to like there and then come over here and rank up to here to make sure you're getting your credits in, these are not blueprints. I can buy these outright. And all this requires, again, is time played. The other thing on relics is time played. I have to get enough of the essence to crack, or whatever it's called, to crack the relic, and then I have to beat the mission. Time played. Okay? And then that's simple RNG, because I might have to play that 5 times before I even get the times 2 Forma blueprint. I put the time in for that. I deserve to have the item on that instead of the thing. I do understand like crafting primes, right? Because that's an actual Warframe or an actual weapon, but the thing, it just makes stuff cost less in a mod slot. Just give me the entire thing. Don't make it a fucking blueprint. That's literally the only thing I'm thinking is like anything Forma-wise, no matter the type of Forma it is, just give the full thing. Don't make it a blueprint. Kind of like you do here, I believe, because technically, if I look at this, you have a chance at a Forma. But the thing is, when I run this, I have a chance at everything on that page under common, uncommon, and rare. And legendary. That's how many items is in here, and you're only able to earn one of those for running all 3 of these missions. Literally, I run this, this, and this, and then I have a chance at one of those. And again, the catalyst and reactor blueprints. Which I think should be non-blueprint, but anyways. The Forma, the catalyst, and reactor, those 3 things should be just given. Don't make me craft them once I earn them, just give it. Okay? Especially since you're saying if I buy a Warframe out of the shop, right? If I go through the shop, I basically get a forma. I don't have to worry about 35 plat here for 3 formas. I could go buy, for instance, if I do this, I go to Warframes. I go to Citrine. Let's say I wanted Citrine. Guess what? Comes upon a crystal, blah, 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 telling about her when you actually go to buy it. For instance, if I go to buy this, you're going to notice it says purchase. When I hit purchase, you get it, but I'm not going to do it because I don't have 325 plat. But anytime you buy a frame or a weapon, it automatically comes with a catalyst or reactor. I'm not joking. Anytime you outright buy something, it comes catalyst or reactor, which means if I'm just earning the catalyst or reactor and it's not an actual frame, just go ahead and drop it to me. Don't make me have to craft it. Okay? Just simple stuff like that would make this game better. Alright. I've said what I had to say about frames. Let's show you guys how to fix the dragon key bullshit. Alright? On the ship, I have to deal with it. But if I quickly grab him, we go over and like, oh, let's go do our dragon key. And let's let the game break again. Second time on stream. Literally 2 for 2 for the first time searching. Let's break. Game's been out for 10 years. This bug for this part when searching emissions been here for 5 years. Why? And how come has it not been fixed? DE? But anyways, let's continue. I'm even on PS5, guys. I can't even say it's a PS4 reason. I'm on PS5, the latest gen console, and it's doing that. But anyways, you can see my health is really low on this character. My shields is really low. Here's how fast I'm supposed to be moving, but I'm able to bypass it because of ability. Like, literally, I'm able to just constantly hit the run using the sprint stuff here and get around the map. Okay, I'm able to, like, absolutely, I think this is the way we're supposed to go. So I'm going to quickly just look around 110% here to make sure. Force my character to run faster. And this is how you get around the issue. Okay, it is fixable by player depending if you have the frame or not. If you don't own this frame, I feel sorry for you because you are going to absolutely be stuck with this movement speed through your entire fucking game when trying to hunt these vaults. Please get a vault. Okay? Because you're actually going to help everyone in the lobby, not just yourself. Because every time I hit this ability, not only do I go faster, but this ability gets used onto everyone else too. So, Farah, or however you're supposed to say that, or, Farah, I believe is how it's supposed to maybe be said. Here we go. Here's the vault. I got fucking lucky. Boom. Hit it. You come in, grab it. Again, we use the key. Check that out. I done it, and bro didn't have to. I'm a good freaking host, man. But now we actually do this. We can come over, hit this, where you can see I done 3,000 damage a second. Not horrible, but I can actually make that better. We're just going to hit this and then do it. And there we go. Literally not just him, but it died to me too. Oh my god, he's one of these players. No. Okay, at least it's just me and him here. I ain't gonna be too mad at that, but you could have just jumped up the elevator shaft, my dude. There. Room almost gone. Cave room is gone now. And room deleted. So, yeah, I basically still have a nuke here, but extra electricity damage. I did do that build, and it's okay, but I can't say it's, like, max cap, but there we go. Use up this, or we're just going to constantly do this, fly over here. That should have actually already pulled itself up because I jumped as soon as I clipped the edge. And there we go. We got lucky with this one and found it outright. Here's Spoiled Strike, which is melee damage, removes attack speed, but it only goes up ×3. You guys get the idea there, right? When you're building a melee and you want high damage, people also throw on what card? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an F, and it's not spelt by furry, it's fury. Okay, people build for damage and their melee speed, so removing that melee speed is horrible, DE. Horrible. You guys are literally scamming your players for vault cards, man.
Hi.
What's up there, Ducky? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, man. But yes, the reason I'm making this, please go back and watch a little bit. You'll see why DE is like really irritated me. It starts around with like them saying they're reworking abilities, removing it, and then taking the old ability, maybe adding one simple thing to it, like maybe adding a cosmetic, and then releasing it with the new frame. Like it's disgusting how they do that. And then taking a gear slot item from somewhere you get as your 5th mission you probably ever run to. Let's make sure my facts are right there. Literally, you start here, so it'll be like what you start at. I believe it's E prime, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Venus, 7, 8. So basically, you're doing 8 missions, and you're basically getting your K drive, which is a hoverboard. And then they decided, let's make the hoverboard from the gear slot an ability for a frame. Okay. They took World of Fire from Ember. Okay, reworked it, changed exactly how it works, which I no longer have Ember anymore. I had the regular version, but they removed it off of her, and then said, "Hey, let's release a brand new frame." And guess what? Guess what? Basically, is back under a brand new name. I'll give you a hint. It's this ability here. Okay. When it actually shows it, because DE couldn't have just made it the first thing here to show, but see how the ground kind of catches fire, goes up the walls, everything in the room or that area catches fire and takes damage, which is 2,850 damage a second. Go look up Ember World of Flames. Which they talked about how broken it was and they were removing it from the game, but if they're removing it, why'd they add it back in? I mean, you kind of see the point that I'm making. DE lied to everyone then just to be lazy now. And I do mean lazy because it's literally an ability it was already out to put to a new Warframe and call it new. Lazy. Absolutely lazy. Okay? I love Warframe, I do. DE used to be good. Every frame it came out used to have new abilities, or if they did reuse it, it was known that it was reused. But they didn't say we're going to rework an ability or strip it from a character. Not even just rework, but strip it from a character to change it entirely. Right? In case Ember to this frame, and then put it on this frame and call it a new frame, and not actually straight mentioning that we're sorry for removing this off of Ember, but we're now putting it on Uriel. They didn't do that. They just called it a new frame, and then here's the ability he has. Now, am I going to lie? No. I love it. Okay? I love it. But the new frame, yes, he is worth getting, but not at the same time. The reason I'm saying that, he's strong, he's good. He just needs a patch. One, he needs more energy because not only does the circles appear very, very not as often. I won't say they're rare, but they're not like constant either. It's just like on this weird fumble of if it spawns in, you collect it to build up your red bar to go to your fourth ability, or you absolutely have to spam your ability to gain your fourth ability faster. And spamming a particular ability to do that cycles in, you use your second ability, your first, and then you go third, 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 second, third, 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 and that will actually, after you do, we don't want to do it 4 or 5 times on third, but you get the idea. You'll use 2 or 3 times on third ability, and then you'll immediately go back to your second ability because when you rejuvenate, for some reason I found out it helps make that bar go up faster on the bottom when they're being hit by fire. I don't know if it's something broken, if it's meant to be there, but it does. It helps build that faster, but you're having to spam ability, which is using your energy, which you only get like 150. And then with a not full level, but missing 1 or 2 stars from being full level, which is giving 151% extra energy, you're only getting 377. And then to build for the entire room like you've seen, which you didn't see directly here, you'll have to rewind video back a little bit or watch it as an upload when it comes out as an upload later. But to cover the room size that I have and have the exact ability damage for overtime and straight damage directly, the ability doesn't last long. And literally every time I use my third ability, like R1 in circle, is 100 energy at base being ripped off of the character. So if I want to hit that 3 times, I need 300 energy. So if I was going square, X, circle, circle, square, I would need something like 500 energy just to do that cycle. Unless I'm picking up energy off the ground due to one of the things I have that gives me extra pick up to energy through my orbs. So they give me extra energy through an orb, which is the energy orbs, is kind of oofed. Now, we could probably do the other way where health orbs also give energy, and then energy also gives energy as vice versa, which the energy orbs also give health. But then I would have to have a Necros Prime or a Necros be in the lobby that will constantly keep dropping health and energy orbs. And running that, I would have to constantly always be playing with someone, and I can't play solo like I've been doing here on occasion. But again, Ducky, again, welcome to the channel. Dog, welcome to the channel, and also welcome back, Gamer Girl, as well. She's not new. That's why I said welcome back to her, because she's come in. Dog says he's been around, but he hasn't told me the actual name he was under when he did. He gave me a different alias, which might be something he remembers back to, but doesn't remember the very first one. So I'm just going to say welcome back to him too, but also at the same time, I really don't know. But again, Ducky, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming in. So you have to come in to like me like ranting about this, but it's something I do want to make aware that other people need to be aware of, especially with Digital Extremes, which is what DE stands for, which is the developers of Warframe. Okay? I will say they have come out with some pretty cool stuff. One more issue I do have an issue with is I love the frame. I love how it's World of Flames. But they tied different damage types to be for certain enemies, so that way certain enemies are weak to certain damage types. But they released a frame that is with the new event going on, which I've already been to to show you in Descendia. I've already beat 421. You can see the check mark right here next to the Forma, which is a blueprint, not an actual Forma. But you can see this check marked. I have to wait 20 more hours, which will be basically tomorrow at some time. Actually, 20 more hours. Yeah, that's basically 10 o'clock. We'll call it 8 o'clock, like 8 p.m. my time, basically, for this reward. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It is 6 p.m. 6 p.m. my time, I will be able to grind the floors again and get the brand new rewards. But I did go through this, but that's not the main problem. The main problem is it's fire damage on this one, but then you get Corpus, which is not weak to fire damage, and you do this to grind the new frame. So realistically, the frame should be doing more damage to the enemies in here to make this easier, so you can help take your friends through it or other people. So that way you can show off you have the new one, make it look really cool, so other people are going to want it and want to grind it. There's so many people right now asking, is it worth to get this frame? Is this frame any good? Literally, I could sit here and wait in this right here, and I'm pretty sure if I sat here for 30 minutes, we'd see at least maybe 2, 3, not if 4 people ask, hey, is Uriel any good? And that's because no one runs him in Descendia, where a lot of people are running through right now, because he does fire damage, and Corpus is not weak to fire damage. Okay? This is mainly Corpus that is in here, which is actually weak to, not viral, but what is it? Hold on. I got it on one of my weapons. I'll actually go look at it right quick, which is this one right here. And it is actually magnetic. They're weak to magnetic, as you can see, Corpus. But the new Warframe is fire damage. So no one wants to run the Ascension Force through Descendia on the new event to get the new frame, but they're not going to run the new frame in the new event because none of the enemies are weak to them. You're not going to take fire damage against Corpus. So why is the main enemies in Descendia Corpus? If you're going to do that, make good versions of alien or a new type of alien. Make it weak to fire damage. Make the new frame drop fire damage. So that way, when you actually run through Descendia, my bad, it's not Ascend, it's Descend. Descendia, actually make the new frame do more damage to the enemy type in there. Again, the enemy being weak to the damage type the frame produces. That way, it'll give a reason for people to want to grind the frame, especially for the new event, to grind some of the new resources there to get the new weapons and stuff like that. Using the new frame, which again is showing other people the new frame to show him, like, how cool he is, so people want to go get it. So not only are you giving a reason for the new frame to be used, especially in the new event, you're also giving a reason for people to be like, oh, that's cool, he's cool, there's a reason I need him, and go get him, right? I'm not wrong on that. And he is cool. I will let you guys know, he is cool. Just not usable in Descendia. I'll stick to my 11 million crit bow with Volt, which, by the way, my Volt isn't even used to make my bow stronger. I don't have that build on him. The bow itself hits for 11 million, long as I do the charge correctly, because it's on the bow you get from completing, I think it's the second war? The new war? No, not second. New war. It's the new war. When you complete the new war, which is where you get to play as one of the cool Dax characters, and you're going through the main story. After you complete it, you will actually get the bow, and that's the bow I'm talking about, which is the Naturuk, is how you're actually supposed to say it. That bow, if built correctly, can hit for 11 million damage on a headshot without needing Volt to do it. I'm pretty sure if I built the Volt version that you see people doing more damage with Volt to primary weapons, also throwing in a primary weapon arcane, we might be able to see 20 million out of that bow alone, which is insane to hear and talk about. But yeah, it's very insane. But I am going to take this guy in and show you guys the ability and why I mean by the spam, so you don't think I'm just sitting here making pointless rant and not knowing what I'm talking about. You'll see that I do know what I'm talking about. Let's go to Terrarium here and just stay for 5 minutes. Mainly, I don't want to eat through another 200 energy pool stuff to spam on the floor to constantly spam my energy. So, see if I do this, and then I use my second. There's a whole 100 off just from my second. See if I do that, down to 173. Okay, but we're doing that. You can see how I've like built that. Hit this again, so it redoes everything. Hit this, and then I spam my second. Go back to my second. Well, hit my third, then go back to my second. Look how much faster that red bar is building now. And it's hitting everything up there. Now I got my main ability. Let's show you guys how big this is, especially for people coming in. He's a damn good frame, especially like, let me get a little bit more energy. All right, when everything spawns in here again, which is here about now, watch how much dies. He is a nuke, okay? This is how much gets covered. Look at that, 21,000 per second. 21,000 per second. He's a nuke, but it only lasts that long. Okay? It's that big, only lasts that long, and it takes forever to build stuff up. And yes, you can look for these, but you can see this is the first time we're seeing one of those. And, okay, here's two more. But you can see those only build by that much. It's faster. Oh, we got two more to spawn in, which is great. Make me look like a liar right now. But we do that, do this, hit this, and boom. That is actually building a lot faster than it is looking for the other things. What am I stuck on right here? Hello? Warframe? Grab this. And host migration. Fun. We're only going to be here for 5 minutes. The dude only had to wait, what, a minute and basically 1 minute and 9 seconds? And then he could have exfilled and actually kept his stuff. Maybe crashed. Maybe crashed. We won't say he, like, left. Oh, my God. Dude. You seen my red bar. Rewind a little bit, guys. Rewind. Look how much red bar was there till after the host migration. Like, Warframe, can we at least, like, keep what was there already on my red bar? Can we not, like, reset my red bar? After going through the energy I had to spam in order to keep everything. Oh god, I gotta go this way. There's nothing left in this room. Okay, look at that. Look. And then to get my energy back over time, this is how long it takes. If there's no little, like, actual things. So, yeah, it's kind of oof with this dude. He needs more energy. He needs more energy efficiency as well before they even should have released this, is my only issue. He's good on the other stuff, just a little bit more base energy, you know, like reduction to how much it costs for the ability to be casted, and then more energy pool in general. And it would have been good. That tells me they don't actually full test their stuff before they release it. Again, laziness. Alright, we're only supposed to be here to basically 5 minutes anyway, so let's go ahead and leave. And this way, leaving this way gets to keep the stuff. He does get a fly, which uses that red bar, by the way, guys. But you can see it doesn't always work when I have a red bar. But the only time you get it is when you have the red bar, which is very weird. But there we go. Just figured I'd point that out. This dude needs a massive buff to the main energy pool down to the bottom right there. That should be 500 at base with how much this costs. And probably add another 50% efficiency to this character at base. And that would not be bad.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
But yeah, not bad. He's worth it. Just needs a fix for those two things. And to show you the build that I have, oh, somebody said bruh, because I think it was the dude leaving or it was me. I didn't see exactly right when that message got removed. But yeah, it's yeah. Let's go here and show you guys what I'm having to build here. So to do exactly what I got is just this. And again, you have to run the vaults, which I hate the negative ability stuff there that happens with that and this. And where is it? It's this one, and this one. So it's all three of those get negative towards like the strength, the efficiency, and duration here. As you can see, like I'm below 100% efficiency here. And that's due to not the duration, not this one, this. Negative 50% efficiency. I feel like at most, this should only be negative 30. Okay, at most, negative 30. And then for the fortitude, for the duration, I'm not mad about negative 25. Okay, I would not be mad about negative 25. This actually is not bad. I mean, I wish it'd be lower, maybe negative 15, but you get the idea. Because you get this one, which is going to give me range, but negative ability strength. Like, at least only make that 25, like you did fortitude here. Yes, it would make me past, 200% strength, but we're not taking 2 steps backwards and 3 steps. Well, no, I'm saying that backwards. 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward is not happening to this when trying to actually max out, our range, our strength. And I mean, we do get a little bit of okay duration, but this could be a lot better if I actually removed off the card. It removed my duration. Hold on, which is this one. You can see we lose, but we get 145%. Just wanted to put that out there, right? That's how much we're actually losing to this. If I put that up there, see, back to 120. So yeah, it's quite oofed in that manner. And to do this, again, you have to use the keys that I showed you, the 4 negative effects that happen to your Warframe, and, well, how lucky you can get to how unlucky verbally you can get, on top of how unlucky you can get with people while you're still searching for it, because sometimes it's very elusive to find the actual vault. People just going to the end and forcing everyone to leave the mission if you're trying to hunt the vault. I've shown that. So yeah, would I grind for this frame? Yes, I already did. Would I advise you guys to? Yes, they're good. They just need a buff in 2 sections to actually be viable to play on a constant run where you're not literally pound cake, fat kid eating through cheesecake, squad restores. Okay? Again, I started yesterday with over 600. Stopped yesterday when we got down to 130. And I am just now starting to craft everything back. And we're just now about to reach, here in a minute, 400 again. It's been a ride with this frame. But I mean, they could fix it. They could. And to be honest, this frame has been this way for, if we come to the computer, 16 days at least. Because look, the old piece, hotfix number 5, fixing the quest line itself was 16 days ago. 16. Over half a month ago. And this frame is this way. Not to mention, I don't even know if they done any fixes to the frame itself if we was to go down past this, like the 30-day marker. But 24 days, instantly acquire the old piece packs now. Geary Prime, access available now. Pre-order the old piece. Oh, pre-order the old piece merch collection, and then the old piece Alienware giveaway was 24 days ago, nearly a month ago, and this frame is still the way they are. They have not released a patch to fix this issue. Laziness. Laziness. Okay? That's all I can say. And again, all they have to do is fix a couple numbers. So at base, if we looked at this at base without anything, which I'd have to remove off all my things again, which is very easy to do. We just go to upgrade and go to config B. This is what you get at base. So 150 energy, 100% duration, 100% efficiency, 100% range, and 110 strength. Okay, this is at base. You can see I basically only went up 80% here. I've only went up 135% here. I've went up none here. As you can see, I'm actually gaining for removing my mod cards off here. I've went down 20%. And duration here is 120, 100, and I've only went up 20% duration-wise. 20. With all those mod cards on, I've only went up plus 20 because of the negative effects. To be honest, what they should do at base, this could be 450, okay, which I think I do have a thing on 4 energy, hence this is 377. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Prime flow. So this could be 450 with 151% extra energy coming from the prime, which gives it 500 to 550, somewhere in there. Then, your duration, this could have been easily 100 and we'll say 145. Because at 145 plus the stuff, only gaining 20, I'd be at 180 duration. Actually, 40, that'd be 50, 160 duration. Okay? I would have only gained 20 from it. So 160 duration. Not bad. Okay? It would have lasted a little bit longer. It wouldn't be too long, and it would go away. And that would be perfect. Efficiency is only 100. You can see I've lost 80%. I'm down to 80%. Okay? All you have to do is set this to 120, and with all my cards, I'd at least have the base version of efficiency. So they do 120. Okay. Range. You get 100. I got 235%. This can stay the same. Strength. 110 to 190 is only 80%. This could have been set to, I don't know, 145. And then I'd at least be in the 200 range on strength, which is what most frames do anyways. And then the prime version of this could be a little better than that. So it would end up getting like 250 strength. This right here could easily have gone up to like maybe 250 range with the prime version. This right here where I'm keeping 100, at that point, maybe it's 150 for the prime version instead of 120. That way I actually get at least a little over 100 efficiency. Duration here, as I said, since I'm only getting 120 duration here, if you set this to 145, maybe that could have been 165 on the prime. Okay. Netting me almost nearly 200 duration, but not at it. And then energy, like 450 on the regular, could have been 550 on the prime. Okay. Is how this could have been set up. And then health and shield armor, all that is fine. It's just the energy spent on the cast, the duration of the cast, range, and strength needs a buff. Okay? And this is kind of what I'm working with right now. As you can see, look how much I go down in some areas and up in others, where it's mainly due to the fact of if I want actually ability strength, I'm losing duration. I'm losing the actual, like, if I want range, I'm losing strength. Like, dude, this could easily have done that. And the funny thing is, if I go to Volt, same cards, he's almost 200%. Only duration goes down a little bit. And then even like Volt Prime, dude, this is 60%. This could at least still been 100. And it would have been fine. Is what I'm trying to point out there. Like, they've really screwed it. Like I said, is 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back is what they're sending you with this. Please fix DE. Fix Not only Uriel, but all the frames, all those cards could be fixed and make it a little more worth it. Even if it's not a direct bit to Uriel, at least lower the amount that the cards affect negatively, so Uriel is more viable, and all the other cards are more all the other frames are more viable as well. That's literally all that needs to happen for the most part. Or give Uriel a fix, give Volt a fix, and make it where on energy biased frames they can actually use their energy. They're not being ripped out of energy. That does need a little bit of a fix. When I say a little bit, like my arms are out past my shoulders, okay? Figuratively, because I'm not actually physically holding my arms out like that. Okay. We need to change frames. I love this frame, but we need... Actually, you know what? I'll play as him. But I'm not going to be ability spamming, so we're going to end up having to use our gun and melee a little more often, but it'll be okay. We need to go to... Actually, we need to run vault missions. I am gonna have to change frames. Sorry, I've been thinking. I was either thinking of going through a different mission type or vaults, and I do need to run the vaults because I also still have the keys equipped, nerfing me health, shield, actual damage, and I forget what the fourth one was, but yeah, I got like 4 different nerfs going on to my character right now. So we need to run the vaults. I'm not going to do this on stream. Again, the stream is mainly to point stuff out, get you guys aware. Hopefully, if you haven't subscribed, maybe you guys are. But until next time, guys, I am going to pop off stream and go run these vaults, and I'm not going to make it repetitive because YouTube hates repetitiveness. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I will see you guys at some point, either later tonight or tomorrow. If I do stream tomorrow, it'll be after I help my grandmother and her new husband do firewood, because they have to cut some more and wheelbarrow it, then stack it onto 3 different ricks. They have one inside the house next to the fireplace. They have one in between where the fireplace would be and the main deck, and then they have one on the direct deck. So that way they're pulling 2 from the same height the fireplace is before having to walk down the stairs to get to the other ricks. So, yeah, it'll be sometime after I get through doing that. I got to be there at 12 to go do that. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end stream here, guys. Hope you guys liked and enjoyed, and I will see you guys either later tonight. If it's not too late, if I end up grinding the card I need, actually both cards I need, because I need to grind 2. I need one for myself and then the other one to duplicate so I can give it to Pombo. I'll see you guys either then, or I will, if it's too late, I will see you guys after I do firewood tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys. Stay awesome, and peace.